What are the most common mistakes that folks have made in planning for their Social Security, and how can you avoid them? This is number 4 in a 4-part mini series on the mistakes that we have observed people making in their Social Security planning, how to avoid those, and how to incorporate some of this knowledge into your overall financial plan. Here are the mistakes that we had talked about in the first video. Many people believe that Social Security is just going to run out of money, and so the best thing to do is collect it as soon as it's available to you. In the second video, we talked about the reductions, claiming early. Generally, the longer you wait, the higher your check's going to be up to certain ages, depending on the type of check it is. So we covered that in the second video. The third video was the mistakes that we've observed for divorcees, widows. Widowers, a lot of confusion there, and there's some unique rules for those folks when claiming their Social Security benefits. Today, I'm going to be talking about talking to specifically people who are already collecting and some of the reductions that could happen even though you're already collecting a benefit. So if you want kind of the general rules around collecting Social Security without getting into a whole lot of the details, these are my general rules. One, if you need the money and it's available to you, take it. If there's a Social Security benefit available to you and you need the money to keep food on the table and pay the bills, take the money. The other more complicated strategies aren't applicable at that point. Seek to maximize the highest benefit available to you. Some of you will have 2 or 3 different benefits available to you. You could have a benefit on your own work history. If you're married, you could have a benefit on your spouse. If a spouse had passed away, you might have a survivor benefit. Somebody who has a survivor benefit gets remarried after the age of 60, they have 3. Survivor benefit on the first spouse, benefits on their own work history. Now they're remarried after the age of 60. They could have a spousal benefit. So figure out what benefits are available to you and when you can collect those benefits, and seek to maximize the highest benefit of those ones that are available to you. Consider delaying as long as possible. Again, generally, the longer you wait, the more you get. This one, next to the last bullet point I'm going to cover today. If you're collecting benefits prior to full retirement age and you continue to work, could be a reduction. And then finally, have the knowledge. Understand what is available to you, when it's available to you, understand how the system works, and understand how Social Security benefits fit into your overall retirement income plan. Knowledge is very key here. All right, so if you are already collecting Social Security benefits, what are the potential reductions? One I had mentioned. If you are collecting benefits prior to your full retirement age. For those who were born between 1943 and 1954, your full retirement age is 66. If you're born in 1955, it's 66 and 2 months. 1956 birth year, it's 66 and 4 months, and it increases 2 months up until everybody born in 1960 or later. For right now, your full retirement age is 67. If you are collecting any sort of Social Security benefit prior to your own full retirement age, and you have income from work loosely defined as W-2 income or self-employment net income. If you have money from work, and this is in the end of the first bullet point, of more than $19,560, Social Security will reduce your benefit, $1 of your benefit for every $2 over that limit. So this is for anybody collecting any sort of Social Security benefit prior to your own full retirement age. Once you reach your full retirement age, you make as much money as you want. They won't have this reduction. There's going to be taxation potentially. I'll talk about that in a second. But if you are collecting prior to full retirement age and working, and you're making more than $19,560, there could be a reduction of your Social Security benefit. Now, many people have said to me, well, it's a big deal. When I turn full retirement age, I'm going to get all that money back. Not exactly true. What they will do is they will credit you for the months that you were reduced. So if you're collecting an early Social Security benefit, you're prior to your full retirement age, you're making more than $19,560, they start to reduce your check. They don't actually reduce your check. What they do is they withhold checks completely until you square up with them. So they don't incrementally reduce it. They figure out how much you should get in a year, then you might miss a few checks. They just quit sending them. But what they're going to do is they're going to give you credit for those months that you weren't receiving a check. So when you reach full retirement age, they could potentially increase your check a little bit each month. It would take just about your life expectancy to get the full amount back. So there is no one big time credit as soon as you turn full retirement age. If they had reduced your check because for this reason, that you get all the money back. It doesn't work that way. You do get it back over time. In the year of your full retirement age, you can actually make a good bit more. In 2022, it's $51,960, and there is a $1 reduction for $3 over that. So this is only for people who are collecting prior to full retirement age, and it's prior to their full retirement age. Once you reach full retirement age, you make as much money as you want. You're not going to have a reduction for this. However, there could be taxation. So this is right from the Social Security website. I love this first line. You will pay tax on only 85% of your Social Security benefits based on the IRS rules. Here are the IRS rules. If you're filing as an individual, your combined income, and that's going to be a very important number that I will detail for you here in a second. If your combined income is $25,000 to $34,000, you may have to pay tax on 50% of your Social Security benefits. That's not the tax rate. They take 50% of what you are receiving from Social Security, and they consider that taxable. For somebody who is filing as an individual, if you make more than $34,000, up to 85% of your benefits could be taxable. And again, that's not the tax rate. That's 85% of the benefits that are being received. If you are filing a joint return and your combined income, which is very important, is between $32,000 and $44,000, up to 50% of the Social Security benefits coming into your household could be taxable. Over $44,000, up to 85% of the benefits coming into your household could be considered taxable. If you're married and filing separately, pretty much everything's going to be taxed regardless. So what is this combined income? Well, it's right there at the bottom. Combined income is your adjusted gross income plus non-taxable interest. Think about the money that you're getting from, for example, municipal bonds. Generally not taxable. However, they add that number back in here, and they also take 1/2 of the Social Security benefits being received. They add all of that up. Adjusted gross income, non-taxable interest, plus 1/2 of your Social Security, that's your combined income. And so you take that number and then you compare it to whether you're filing as an individual or filing a joint tax return, and that will indicate to you how much of your Social Security benefits could be considered taxable. One of the questions you should ask yourself, what is not in combined income? How can I reposition things? I've done a video, extensive video on that. Take a look out for it. But what is not in combined income? Roth IRA. If all of your retirement income is coming from a Roth IRA, it's not included in your combined income. Cash value of life insurance. If you're pulling money out of the cash value of life insurance, either taking it out directly or taking it out as a loan, it's not included in your combined income. So there are things that you can do before you start collecting Social Security benefits to potentially head off some of the future taxation of your Social Security benefits. So that is, those are the reductions for people who are already receiving Social Security benefits. It would be if you're working and collecting prior to your full retirement age, and the taxation. Unfortunately, taxation is applicable to all Social Security benefits. We incorporate all of this type of planning in the HBK Provident Advisors Dream Financial Planning process. The D in Dream stands for Discover. We learn more about you and what you want to accomplish. The R in the Dream process stands for Reduce Stress. We want everybody that we work with to make very confident and knowledgeable decisions. And so we do a lot of educating, kind of like we're doing here on Social Security. And that really helps to, knowledge is power, reduce the stress around financial planning. The E in the Dream process is expectations. What do you expect of us? What do we expect of you? The A's are the action steps. Go through the planning process. These are the things, the ideas that we have for you that might make the most sense for your situation, and then we decide together on which are the best steps, the best action steps at that time. And then the M is move forward and monitor the plan. So who should be really looking at their Social Security right now and be very conscious of the rules and how things work and how you might want to collect? For those of you who were born January 2nd in 1954 or earlier, there are some rules that are no longer applicable to others that might be beneficial to you. So if you haven't collected yet, not many of you out there that haven't collected if you're born January 2nd, 1954 or earlier. But if you have, you really need to pay attention to your Social Security. If you have not collected, but you were born before January 2nd of 1954, those turning 62 this year or next year, start to understand this. Even if you don't plan on collecting until your full retirement age or beyond, understand how it's going to fit into your overall retirement income plan. Divorcees, ton of mistakes made there. There's a prior video on that, and widows and widowers, probably the biggest mistake money-wise that's being made in Social Security right now. Contact us. You can email us directly, or you can give us a call at 833-HPK-PLAN, 833-HPK-PLAN.